Today, I'm reviewing we are reviewing the Toyota Prius. From its memes that it's brought along to many of the people who drive it, I figured this would be a good way to close off the season. So, let's get to it. First up is the very simple and strange top speed test. Welcome to the Genesis 1 mile dragway. It's a place where many cars come to push their engines, and all their speed, to their limit, simply to put their speed on the boards. Let's see how the Prius can do in this test. The Prius, or plus 10 horsepower machine, whatever you want to call it, topped out at 60.4 miles per hour. You sure this is correct? Oh yeah, this is correct. What are you talking about? Alright, it seems correct in the footage, we're just gonna roll with it. Alright, moving on. Next up is the not-so-dodging whatsoever brake test. The car will deploy the brakes on this black line. The goal of the test is to not hit the parked Dacia Duster. Let's see how the Toyota Prius can get through in this test. With, surprisingly, anti-lock brakes, or ABS, and yes, of course, slow speed, the Prius gets a pass in the brake test by a large margin. Now normally we would move on to the cornering test here, but before we do, I want to test something. Since the Prius has an electric motor, I wanted to see how far it can go running only on that motor. Again, it's probably not going to go super far, but I just want to push the limits of this thing and see how it would go. To do this test, I would drive around the town of Forksville while keeping a steady speed of somewhere around 35 to 40 miles per hour for the entirety of the time. With this out of the way, let's test the cornering of the Prius by going through some tight corners. Shouldn't be too difficult. Next up is the infamous parallel park. And yes, with a little bit of some wiggling, I will say, it can successfully complete this test. Let's test the ride of the Prius by going over a small gravel road segment. Prius rides really well, actually. It's not super bouncy and has a perfect mix of both comfort, weight, and how that weight is distributed. So it's very good to see this, and especially a car with, well, this box, I'll admit it. But can it do bumps? Let's find out in the bump test. Now, I wouldn't go as far as saying this car struggled, but with its slow speed, it kinda does look like it struggled. But the Prius did okay, to say the least. I can't say it did great, I can't say it did bad, it's in the middle. This car, I'm going to say it right now, probably has the most impressive MPG figures I have ever seen. With somewhere around 51 MPG in the city and 48 in the highway, this car pretty much is the king of gas conserving, whatever the heck, whatever it could be. But because of this car's weight, its boxiness, and everything else, how did those figures apply on the track? And now, let's give the Prius an official lap around the circuit. Oh boy, this is about to be bad. The official standard time is 3:03:75. With added up accidents and collisions, the final adjusted time is 3:03:75. And on that electrical and boxy-like note, it's time to end. Thank you so much for watching. Good night. Look at this view. Staring over the city of Forksville. Always a beautiful sight. Hello? Yes? Okay, I see. Yes, I'll make my way over to the studio right now. Thank you. Bye-bye. Well, it's my cue to head home. Sure gonna miss this place, and all the beautiful adventures I had. Let's head home.